But that's what we're talking about today. Street photography. What is it? How to do it? What gear do you need? So let's get right into it. Good morning, guys. Today we're here at REI, downtown Denver, and no doubt this has happened to you. You've been scrolling on the internet and you see this image, and at first it's just a portrait, it's just a person, but then you keep looking at it and you see they've got all this depth. There's the buildings in the background, maybe there's some motion blur with cars going by, and they've just got this really nostalgic or grungy feel to it, and it's just a really dynamic image. Maybe it's black and white even to make it that much more punchy. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just somebody on their daily commute. They were walking around and they snapped a photo and didn't realize how good it was, or maybe it was methodically planned out. A location was chosen, and as soon as somebody interesting walked into their composition, they snapped the photo. Alright guys, so the first thing you need to know about street photography is the why. So street photography in its simplest form is photography in a metro area, usually of people or architecture, and I think it's one of the purest art forms as far as photography is involved. And it's not about getting amazing dramatic shots, although a lot of the shots you've seen probably are super dramatic, but I think it shows some of the rawness of human nature. You know, when you, the photographer, just kind of blend into the background and you really get to see people in their everyday lives. Canon, the company, actually has written a lot of things, but one thing that I really liked that they said, or they shared, was a photograph is shaped more by the person behind the camera than by what's in front of it. So street photography is a really good way to see what kind of person you are, and your personality reflects very heavily on the kinds of pictures you take. So that's something to keep in mind, especially in street photography. Street photography is also about documenting interesting things that you see, your unique perspective, and really just exploring the world around you, whether that be a city or a suburb or anything else. It's really a reflection on your viewpoint of the world. As far as the things you need, you really don't need much. You need a camera, whether that be your smartphone, a DSLR, GoPro even, whatever camera you have, it's a tool. In street photography, you want to share your unique perspective. Otherwise, the same person or multiple people could take the same exact photo. But when you start to apply your unique perspective, your creative eye on the world around you, that's where it becomes interesting. Some other things that are helpful when you're out in an urban environment or street photography is a tripod, maybe a water bottle. You can pour a puddle on the ground and get those really cool reflective shots that you've seen that a lot of the big YouTube photographers have done. Also, a good pair of sunglasses is important. Sometimes the glare off of buildings can really hurt your eyes. Stay hydrated. Comfy shoes are a must. If you don't have a comfy pair of shoes, you're gonna have a bad day. Another really big thing that's important to remember when you're doing street photography, maybe one of the most important ones, is your composition. Because you're not taking photos that have maybe a lot of action in them sometimes, or maybe you don't have a clear subject. So your composition is going to become even more apparent, especially if you're a black and white photographer. That composition that you build is going to tell the story. You know, especially with photography, a lot of it is about your composition and what story are you trying to tell. And the way you tell that story is with your composition, your framing, where things are in the photo. It also completely changes the mood of your photo, how you frame things up. So make sure you pay a lot of attention to that. And lastly, something you really need to keep in mind with street photography is maybe you can run around a city and just put on high-speed shutter and just take lots and lots of photos and hope you get a good one. But a better approach is to really think, almost meditate. Just think, what is my goal? What am I trying to capture? And then thinking about, how do I build that? How do I translate that into a photo that people can see and understand the story I'm trying to tell? Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found some good points in it. I also wrote an article about this subject. You can check right here. It goes a little bit more detailed into it. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Like if you liked. Peace.